What's going on, guys? It's Justin, Cruzin Podcast. We're back. It's just me today. I wanted to give my quick thoughts on the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer, Harry Potter news, and also WandaVision Ep.3. Godzilla vs. Kong, I'm going to start off right off the bat. Kong and Godzilla look great. I think the action looks pretty fucking badass. I'm a little worried with the human story. I hope that they balance it well, where the human story doesn't overthrow monsters, right? Essentially, Godzilla 2, we were there for Godzilla vs. King of the Monsters. I felt like there wasn't as much action. I thought we could have gotten more, and the human story elements that we didn't really care for were kind of holding back the movie. And I hope Godzilla vs. Kong doesn't do that, because the fight scenes with the monsters look great. Kong looks really good. Godzilla looks great. I thought the trailer established really well. Like, it's getting us excited again for that big action blockbuster movie, and I'm really happy that it's coming out in theaters as well as HBO Max, because unfortunately not everyone can go to a theater right now and watch this. So it makes sense from a business perspective why they did that, and I think I'm definitely going to see this in IMAX if I can. I just hope that the human story doesn't overthrow and ruin what we want to see, which is Kong and Godzilla going at it. So from what I'm seeing is Godzilla seems to just be going on a full rampage. He's destroying everything. And then Millie Bobby Brown is in it, and she's driving around, which I don't think she's old enough to drive. I don't know how old she is. Or is she like 16 or something? Well, I guess, I don't know. But like, the story is like her driving around, and she wants to figure out what's going on with Godzilla. I get it. You have to have... I just hope they balance it well. That's just my one worry with the trailer. The music choice in the beginning was... in the middle of the trailer was a little... it kind of threw me off. It started off with this like really intense music from the first Godzilla trailer. And then it went from that to just like, come on. And then like this hip-hop music. And I get it. It's to hype everybody up. It's Kong versus Godzilla. It is badass. I get why they did it. They got to bring the hype back. They got to get people excited for big blockbusters again. And I completely understand it. And I hope they deliver on that. I really do. I want it to work. It looks like Godzilla is killing a bunch of people. He looks like the bad guy initially. And what some people think is that it's a Gojira or something like that. I don't know too much of the lore of Godzilla, but apparently it's like this other kind of, maybe a mechanical Godzilla or something, or this whole other Godzilla is actually a villain, and that's not really Godzilla, and there's like this thing. I do think they're gonna, like any other, like, you know, like a Batman v Superman or anything, I do think they are gonna fight half the film. And I do think, because I mean, Godzilla was an anti-hero essentially in his films. Kong kind of became the good guy of some sorts in his film as well. From what I remember, he wasn't necessarily bad, and I do think they're gonna fight each other. There's gonna be like this thing, and then I do think they're gonna have to come together to defeat a bigger enemy. That just seems like the formula, you know, like Batman v Superman or something. I hope they don't do like there's some funny memes with, you know, hopefully Kong or Godzilla don't say Martha, and then, you know, Martha, how'd you say that name, right? I hope they don't. You know, because everybody makes fun of Batman v Superman.
Kill Martha! Why did you say that name?
And that scene was pretty rough. But besides that, I think the action looks great. I think that's where the story's going to go. I'm not too sure. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I love that it's coming out in March. It's very soon. It's like under 2 months. They bumped it up from May, because this movie has been delayed a couple of times. This movie's been very quiet. There was nothing on this movie. Maybe one poster, and that was it. That was literally it. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited about it? Or I'm 50-50. I don't know why I'm not. It's a solid trailer. It really is. But I don't know why I'm not completely sold. Maybe because I don't. Maybe I'm scared of being like let down. I don't want to let myself get excited and being like down or something. I don't know. But I think it's a solid trailer. I'm excited to see a big blockbuster movie in theaters, in IMAX, and that has me excited. That has me excited because it's been a while since we have, you know, since just seeing a big action movie like this, you know. I was hoping for that with like Wonder Woman, but I was a little let down with Wonder Woman as well. It wasn't my thing. It was very weird. But with this, I hope we can just get that action-packed. And that's what it looks like. I mean, when Kong is punching Godzilla in the face and everything, that's pretty badass. That looks pretty cool. So I hope they deliver on it. I really do. I really do. I hope it does well, and I hope we can keep going. I mean, they've been building up to this for a couple years already. So let's see. March, I'm going to be there. IMAX, big popcorn, and I'm just going to enjoy it, because that's a movie you got to enjoy. I'm not going to go in there, critiquing it and trying to dissect it. I just hope get the humans out of the way, let them be in it. I get it. Let them explain what's going on to us briefly. I want to see Kong versus Godzilla. That's what I'm there for. That looks really cool. This movie must have been so expensive. The CG and the destruction just from the trailer alone, from what I've seen, looks pretty crazy. So let's see, guys. What did you guys think of the trailer? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know on our Instagram or anything like that, because it looks pretty fucking crazy. It looks crazy, and let's see what happens. Because there's speculation on. There's definitely more monsters in there, and I do think there's going to be a bigger threat where they come together and they will fight, and I think that's going to be really cool. I just hope we get a lot of it, not 5-6 minutes of like them fighting and then it's the end of the movie, like Batman v Superman, basically. I hope we don't get that, because that would be really disappointing. So, yeah, guys, that's what I think on that trailer. Let me know what you think. The next thing I actually wanted to talk about was, I just found this out today, was Warner Brothers, again, HBO Max. So we're still in the same ballpark here. They are doing a Harry Potter TV series, live action. That's all we know so far. They haven't said any other detail about whether it's going to be about Harry Potter himself and the group, or if it's going to be, because all we really have right now from the Harry Potter universe, besides the freaking 8 movies, is the Fantastic Beasts prequels. And I gotta say, after the second one, I'm out. I'm done. I feel like I'm kind of done. And they just recasted Johnny Depp now, and so I feel like it's getting messy. I feel like it's getting messy. The second movie was pretty messy. First one was fine. It was solid. Second one was really messy, and it kind of lost me. I was kind of laughing and not enjoying it. It felt weird. It just wasn't working. So I can see why maybe Warner Brothers, seeing that it's Harry Potter, they want to maximize this IP and try to do a TV show exclusively for HBO Max. That's what they're saying. I just hope they don't hurt the IP. Don't hurt what Harry Potter is. And at this point, Fantastic Beasts didn't really work out, so it's not like it could get worse. But I think they could go in a good direction here, because the Harry Potter world is a big world, and I think they can do some pretty cool stuff. So let's see. We haven't heard anything else on it, just released today. But I want to share my quick thoughts. I hope Warner Brothers does well on this, and they treat it right, and they don't hurt the brand of Harry Potter. I hope they make it better, where maybe they can recover a little bit from Fantastic Beasts. I know Fantastic Beasts was supposed to be their big draw, their big prequel franchise of films after Harry Potter ending. Let's see. I still have a gut feeling maybe they're going to wait it out a couple more years and maybe do those sequels. I know the Cursed Child Broadway show is about Harry Potter being older and something with his kids. It's a Broadway show. Maybe they make it into a movie. I don't know. Maybe they can. Maybe they can. But I feel like maybe they're waiting it out, let them get older, and then do it. I don't know. I don't know if a studio like that has that much patience, but I'm excited for a TV show. I can use some Harry Potter right now. That's all I want. As long as they make a good story in the Harry Potter universe and not just trying to make a quick buck. So that's going to be on HBO Max. HBO Max is doing crazy things right now. I mean, they have like all those movies with Warner Brothers coming out this year in theaters and HBO Max. I mean, you have like The Matrix, Space Jam, Kong versus Godzilla, Dune. They have like huge stuff coming out this year. So HBO Max is going to be flooding. And that's great. It's the best with what we can do right now. I don't agree with how they announced it and they didn't even let the filmmakers know or the actors or anyone. I don't agree with that, but I understand it from a business perspective of you gotta release these movies. You have half the people who can't go to a theater in the country or around the world, and then you have some other people who do have theaters. So it's like, how do you accommodate both? Release them both on those platforms, and just hope that the people who love film and the people who love going to the movies will go and support it at the theater, and those who can't go to the theater will support it at home through HBO Max. That's kind of like where I'm at with that, because we're in a tough situation right now. Now, I do want to go into WandaVision Episode 3. If you guys saw our last review, our last discussion on episodes 1 and 2, because I know a lot of people were worried that if episode 3 was another sitcom episode with no story progression, they were going to clock out. They were done. And I was worried about that too, but I didn't feel that way. I felt they released the first 2 episodes to kind of get us through that, what's established. They're like in this show, and then episode 3 is going to be where it's going to launch us into where the story's going. And I feel like that's what it did. At first, I was a little worried with the episode, because I thought, oh man, is this going to be another sitcom now like in the 70s and that's it? But that second half of the episode really took off, and it's really set us up for, I think, what's going to be a really cool show. I think the rest of the show I think is going to be really cool. I think it's going to take us to big things, and I think some crazy stuff is going to happen with Wanda and Vision and that whole world. And it's funny because it does feel like a Truman Show. It's giving us Truman Show vibes. You know, Wanda is having a baby like overnight, right? So she's trying to hide it from the town, and then she has the baby the same day. And it's like, it's a sitcom. It's supposed to be funny. Everything's funny and dandy. But then when she has twins, and then she mentions to her friend how she was a twin, which is a pretty big deal because that was the first time we hear her talk about her brother who died in Age of Ultron, Quicksilver. Which that was actually a really cool moment, and that's why I think these shows on Disney Plus, if done correctly, and I think this one's been doing really well, is I think this is a good thing because it's going to help give more character arcs and character studies for these characters that were sidelined essentially in the Avengers films. They were sidelined. When she mentions Quicksilver, we didn't get that in the movies, right? Because there's so much stuff going on, there was no time for it. But I think when in this show, they can really flush it out and flush out the character and give us more character development, and I think that's great. So when she mentions Quicksilver, that she had a brother, and how she said his name with the accent, so that accent kind of came back a little bit. That was really cool. We haven't heard her talk about him since Age of Ultron, and then her friend just looks at her and goes, "Ultron killed him, didn't he?" And there was like this really tense moment, and it gets really tense, and then she sees like the symbol of the sword on her chest, and then she's like, "Oh, I don't know, what do you mean, Wanda? I didn't say anything," and it gets really tense. And by the way, Elizabeth Olsen does great acting in this. She's doing really well. Again, they're giving her room to get more creative with the character, really just show her talent more, and that's what I'm loving so far about this show. And she throws her out of what essentially is like this dome that it looks like she's in, like this, literally her own world in space-time. So it's not like an alternate universe or reality. This is like our current reality, and she has like this dome, and within it she's in this different reality with these people and they're like, it's like, I think some of them are aware about it. You have some characters saying, like, some characters trying to, like, the neighbors trying to warn Vision about it, but they don't want to. And how she's done it twice where she takes control of the situation, where the first time she did it was when she finds out she's pregnant with Vision, and like someone comes up from the street, from the well, and she says no, and she rewinds it and then replays it again with a happier ending. And in this episode she did the same, where Vision is kind of questioning what's going on. He's like, everything's really weird, what's going on, this doesn't feel right. And everybody thought it was their TV glitching and like skipping the show, but it was actually her. It cuts and it goes right back and it resets it again, but it's him saying, oh, like everything's great, everything's perfect. So it's like her just rewinding and resetting and getting the response that she wants, so that there's no questions about what's really going on. So it does seem like Wanda is behind all this, and we're not really sure what's going on. She throws her friend out of the dome, and that's why I do think it's like this Truman Show, right? Like they're in this dome of like this perfect reality, and I think that's why they used the sitcom. A sitcom portrays this perfect world of family and friends and no problems, right? Everything's funny, everything's great, golden, and she throws her out, and then like the military's there, like surrounding this dome is like the military and coming in and saving the friend, and it's really interesting. Are they trying to get in there? They're not sure how to go in? We did get in episode 2. I think they were calling for Wanda like to come out. Like, Wanda, where are you? What do you know? So I feel like maybe Wanda's like lost her way, and they're trying to help stop it and help her. And I think it's really interesting. I love the speculation. What I don't like is I know a lot of people are impatient and are talking about, oh, it's just a sitcom, this is stupid, whatever. And I think Disney is getting that feedback because I've read a couple articles of the actors and creatives talking about the show, and they're saying, oh, once you get through the sitcom, you'll see how it's going to be crazy. And they're kind of like, not spoiling, but they're like borderline ruining the show a little bit. They're like, oh, at the end, like Paul Bettany, who plays Vision, said, oh, it's worth it when you get to the end because who I have to battle with, the secret character I have to battle with at the end of the show, it's going to be crazy. It's like, why are you trying to convince people to keep watching? Like, just whoever wants to watch. But I understand it, but it's also kind of ruining the speculation. I want to see where this goes. I'm interested. I want to see where it goes without reading this stuff, where it feels like it's like borderline, like kind of ruining it a little bit, because now they're saying, oh, but trust me, when you'll see at the end of the show why the sitcom was that way, and the ending is it's going to change the MCU and how you see the MCU and your perspective. It's just like, oh, hold on, don't tell me that, because now that's just adding more. I have a better idea of what's going to happen, what could happen. I want to be blank, and I want to be guessing every week how I'm doing right now, And so I understand why they're doing it, because, there's people that are, they're not enjoying it. They're impatient. They want to see where it's going. I'm really liking it. I do think that second half of the episode was great. Now we're ready to take off and see where it's going. I love the format change in the episode when Wanda, Vision asks, oh, where is she? I can't remember her friend's name. Forgive me. But she's like, oh, she had to leave. And it was like very great acting again by Elizabeth Olsen. And then the format goes from the aspect ratio changes from that 4:3, and it changes to like that widescreen, and it opens up back to the normal color palette, back to that modern look, meaning we're back in that modern time, present day of what's really happening. And I thought that shot and that scene was actually really cool, and that was a great way to end the episode. Now we get to see where things are really going to go. I thought it was a great episode. Great acting, great writing too. Like, the show's been really good. It's been taking its time, giving us more with the characters. If Disney Plus keeps going this route, I completely understand it. I think it works. It works for these characters that don't necessarily, they didn't have a lot of screen time or a lot of character development in the Avengers or these MCU movies because there's so much going on. So I do think this is helping them, because now this is making, Scarlet Witch and Vision more room to really develop and give us a little something there, And I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to do the same. I think the Hawkeye show is going to do the same. So I think that's pretty great. And yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on WandaVision so far, episode 3. If you haven't watched it yet, definitely check it out. It's getting good. Yeah, I think it's a good show, and I wasn't all in on it. I wasn't sure, but I think it's doing really great, and I'm interested. And it's different. It's a different take. It's a unique take, and that's all I ask for with the MCU. I love when they try to take those risks and just do something different, So yeah, guys, that's all I got today for today's episode. We got more episodes coming soon, so be ready. I'm really excited. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave any comments about what we talked about today, any feedback, anything like that. And if you're listening, likewise, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Until the next one, goodbye.